So we'll start with step 1 again. We'll replace x with negative x in the problem. So we'll have 2 times negative x squared over negative x squared minus 9. To be really careful with your parentheses. So this negative x, when we square it, just gives us a positive x squared. And the same with this one, when we square it, we just get positive x squared. And you see how this is the same as this original problem. And that tells us that this graph has an even symmetry. And that means that if you fold it along the y-axis, it'll be the same on the left as on the right. Step 2 says that we're going to find the y-intercept. So remember, to do that, we'll make x be 0. So we get 0 over 0 minus 9, or 0 over negative 9, which is 0. So this gives us the point 0, 0. If we get zero, 0, will be right here. Step 3 says that we're going to find our x-intercept. So that means we need to make y be 0. So we have 0 equals 2x squared over x squared minus 9. I'm going to multiply both sides by x squared minus 9 to get rid of the denominator. 0 times x squared minus 9 is just 0, so I get 0 equals 2x squared. And I can keep going and divide by 2, which gives me 0 equals x squared, and that just tells me x is 0. So step 3 gives me the same exact point as I had in step 2. So next we'll look at the asymptotes. We'll look at the vertical asymptote first. And to do that, we set the denominator equal to 0. Remember, when you take the square root, we have to take the positive and negative. So this gives us x is equal to 3, and x is equal to negative 3. So I'm going to put a vertical asymptote here, dashed in, and a vertical asymptote here, dashed in. And this now breaks my graph up into 3 pieces. There's a piece here, a piece here, and a piece here. So I'm going to need to have a graph in each of those spots. Step 5 is horizontal asymptote. And the degree on the top is 2, degree on the bottom is 2. So it tells me I use the leading coefficients, which is 2 and 1. So I have a horizontal asymptote at 2. Now when we have 3 pieces, when we have a middle piece, it's okay to cross the horizontal asymptote in the middle, but it's not going to happen on the edges. So we've got everything we found so far drawn in there, and now we've got to just do some points because we don't know where our graph is on each of these other spots. So we need an x value on this side. So maybe I'll choose x equals negative 5. Let me create some room to work. So now we're ready for step 6, which is just finding some points. Like I said, I think I'll start with negative 5 as a number from this left section. So we have 2 times negative 5 squared over negative 5 squared minus 9. If you put the top in your calculator, be really careful with those parentheses, you get 50. If you put the bottom in your calculator, again being careful with the parentheses, you get 16. This gives us the point negative 5, 3.125. So at a negative 5 and 3.125, it means it's just a little above 3, right about there. That tells me about this curve up here. It tells me that in this top left corner, the graph is going to go towards the purple line here and towards the orange line here. So that's that piece. So now let's look at this very right piece, and we'll leave the middle for last. So I need an x value that's over here. So I'll just choose 5 again. Or I guess instead of -5. And the reason I chose that is because we said in step 1 that it's symmetric. So if I have this piece up here in the top left-hand corner, the piece over here in the top right-hand corner should mirror that. So I still get 50 on the top and I still get 16 on the bottom, so I know that I have the point 5, 3.125, which is a point like right about there again, right above the 3, which tells me that I have this graph right here. So I can use that even symmetry to my advantage. So now let's talk about the middle. I need to know what's going on the left and on the right of the 0. So I want to choose an x value on either side. So let's choose 1 first. If I stick 1 in here, two times 1 squared is 2, and 1 squared minus 9 is -8. So I get -1/4. So this is a point 1, -1/4. So it's about right there somewhere. And even symmetry means that I'm going to have the same point on the other side of the y-axis, like right here. And that tells me that the curve in the middle is going to be a little bit like a parabola going down. And that's my graph, 3 pieces.